All right, this question now goes to all the candidates, and I'll start at Richard again on the end. What have you done to get out the vote in your precinct in the past 2 years?
I do whatever I can. I've sent out precinct letters. I've called every single registered Republican personally in my precinct. I've dropped off literature the night before the primary and the general elections all over my precinct. Like I said, I've done the precinct letters. I use multiple methods of attack to turn out the vote in my precinct, and the numbers have shown it out. I did better than the county and better than a neighboring precinct, which is almost identical, every single time that I've gone out there and done what I need to do to get the vote out. The percentages for the Republican candidates are higher in mine than they are in the neighboring one. So I believe in doing mailing, calling, literature dropping, whatever it takes to get that vote out in my precinct. Thank you.
Well, precinct walks, phone bangs, sign wavings, and it's not just for my precinct. However, we have done it also for Chris's campaign, for Karen's campaign, and many other campaigns. It was not just one campaign, it was for all the campaigns that were in our area. Again, we need to get people elected. What we need to do is some out-of-the-box thinking to get Republicans elected here, to increase our numbers in this county. What we need to do is come up with some creative solutions to problems. For example, for elderly walkers, why don't we go out there, and there's lots of people who are willing to do the walks, why don't we go out there and strike deals with these golf clubs for excess capacity golf carts? Have them make those available during the walks, and have contracts with towing companies to drop them off at different locations. This will facilitate the walks, this will make things easier, this will increase the number of people that will come out and do the walks. Again, strategic action teams, break it down into little segments and use their abilities to where they fit the best.
I live in Coral Springs, and I think Joe Eichenberg can attest to this. I'm also a member of the Coral Springs Park Republican Club, in addition to being the president of the Tamarack Club. The Democrats outnumber Republicans in Coral Springs. There are 5 city commissioners in Coral Springs. 2 of them, up to the November 2nd election, Republicans, Tom Powers and Vince Bocart. Vince Bocart ran November 2nd unopposed in a Democratic city. We got a 3rd Republican elected, Larry Vignola, with 67% of the vote the first time he ran for office. Not only that, but the outgoing Democratic mayor, who had been there for a long time, did not endorse the fellow Democrat who was going to succeed him because he was term limited. He endorsed Jim Gleason, who ran for the first time forever for political office. That's what we do in Coral Springs.
Okay, in the last 2 years, I've sent out postage stamp mailers, I've sent out emails, I've made hundreds of phone calls in my precinct. I've stood on a street corner with signs, and a lot of other stuff. And whoever submitted that question, let me say thank you for the 2-year time frame, because my last election wasn't within that time frame, and I did a lot of those things for myself. But other than that, besides my own campaign, I have sent out letters to, I believe, every Republican in my precinct that I had an email for, I sent out a letter to, regardless if they were a super voter or not. I made a number of phone calls. Also in that time, the time I wasn't in my precinct, I guess being known in the town, having been the former mayor, I've also done the walking calls in other precincts in my municipality. Thank you.
In the last 2 years, I've worked in Boyd Anderson High School, Jackson High School in Dade County, and the Smart School, Charter Middle School and High School, working with